This is my walkthrough portion of the exam for number 4. So the question is asking the distance from the seat to top of head of seated adult males, which is normally distributed with a mean of 36.5 and a standard deviation of 1.39. The distance from seat to roof of the model of car is 40.5 inches. So if we draw a diagram, something roughly like that, and we have the seat here, and then from the top of the car to the bottom of the seat is going to be 40.50 inches. And then the question is how many adult men sitting in the car will have at least 1 inch of headroom. So if somebody's sitting in the car, sitting like that, how many will have a minimum of 1 inch of headroom? So we're looking for this distance and below, which 40.5 minus 1 is 39.50 inches. So we're looking for the probability that x is less than or equal to 39.50. And I start by writing out what I know. So I know that the average or mean is equal to 36.5, and that the standard deviation is equal to 1.39. And we're also given what I'm going to call Z star. I'm not sure if I have, or not Z star, X star. I'm not sure if I have the nomenclature backwards or not, because it's there's so much of it I get confused. But I'm going to call X star 39.50 because that's our value. And what we're looking for is on a normal distribution curve. Kind of looking through my camera as I draw, so it gets confusing. We're looking for anything that is 39.50 inches and below. So really just anything in this area. And I'm going to call that Z star. And then, so the formula for getting what we normally find as X star is X star equals the average plus standard deviation times Z star. But in this case, we know Z star, so I want to solve for Z star, so I'm going to subtract the average, do X star minus U equals standard deviation times Z star, and then divide by standard deviation, which is going to give us Z star is equal to X star minus the average divided by standard deviation. So then I want to plug all my numbers in so I can find Z star. So Z star is going to equal, I don't know, I'm drawing a circle. Z star is going to equal the X star, which is 39.50, minus our average, which is 36.50, divided by our standard deviation, which is 1.39. And then we're going to plug that into a calculator. So 39.5 minus 36.5. Slow doing everything with one hand, which is 3, and then we're going to divide that by 1.39, which is going to give us 2.158, and I'm going to round to 2.16 because that is what decimal place our chart goes out to. So z star equals 2.16. Let's write it over here. And then what we want to do next is find z. So z star, I wrote that wrong. This should just be z. So z star can get us to z using our cumulative probability charts. So I'm going to write using chart, and then we're going to look for 2.16. And if you look at the chart, you can see that that very closely resembles our graph here. We're looking for everything below that z value. So our z is 2.16. So we're going to go over to 2, which is right there, then over until we get to 06. So 2, sorry, it's hard to do with one hand. 2, following it over to 06. Or no, excuse me, 2.16. So we're going to do 2.1 and then over to 06, which is right there, which is 0.9846. So 06 and 2.1. Follow that over, 0.9846. So using the chart, z equals 0.9846. And then the question is asking what percentage, or the proportion of the adult population, which I'm going to give as a percent. So you just multiply this by 100, and that's going to give you 98.46%, which is the final answer of 98.46% of adult males will have at least 1 inch of headroom. Here's the full problem.